It is Weekdays with Lee Dixon. Thanks for your company today. On Thursdays, we check in with Craig Heppel at Ulverston Real Estate for a peek inside. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Lee. How are you today?
Good. Always nice to have a bit of a snapshot as to what's happening in the real estate market here in Tassie. Question for you. Who do agents work for?
Wow, what a question. And a lot of people start scratching their heads after a while, but in a nutshell, agents work for their clients, and that is the home seller, or as we like to call them, our vendors.
Right.
So the person that's selling the home, that's who the agent's working for. And in Australia, around 93 to 95% of potential home sellers reach out to an agent to facilitate the sale of their property.
Have you got a bit of an overview as to, what the agent does or should be doing for a vendor this day and age?
Exactly. Yeah, I've got that 100%. So, number one, they appraise your property with your expectations and needs in mind to arrive at a price guide and strategy that's likely to attract genuine buyers, dependent upon the prevailing market conditions, of course.
I was thinking that they're up and down all the time, aren't they?
That's right. So the appraisal you get or the strategy you come up with today, that could, if you're not going to sell in for a couple of months, that could change. You might need to revisit it. So the next thing is it's all about gaining a solid grasp of the features of the property and apply the benefits of owning the property to attract buyers. Buyers buy benefits; they don't buy features. It's what it makes them feel, how it makes them feel, what's the exciting part of it. It's the best way to put it, it's not selling the sausage, it's selling the sizzle.
Well, we hear that time and time again, don't we? And it still works today.
It does.
Right, what else do they do or should be doing for us? So I guess that's what we're interested in today. If we're going to a real estate agent, what should you be doing for us?
Exactly. So the next one is advise on preparation and presentation of the property so it impresses potential buyers.
Oh my word! Look, I'm going to use cars as an example here. When you see people trying to sell cars online and they don't wash them or clean them out,
it's the perfect analogy, Lee.
Yeah,
perfect. Then advise on and implement the best marketing elements. That is, photos, videos, and all that sort of thing that portray your home in its best light, and that will go on all the promotional platforms, such as the website, social media, brochures, etc. So once we've got all that sorted, then it's about fielding inquiries from any potential buyers who come from the promotional platform and sift through unsatisfied buyers on the agent's database.
Because why waste somebody's time or your own as well on such a big investment?
Exactly. Why waste time? This is I won't go into it, but I've just had an Easter where I had to deal with a couple of tyre kickers and ice cream lickers to show them properties, and digging down deep, they weren't going to buy them.
Yep.
They could have been killing time, but we're still learning even after 21 years in the game. So conduct inspections by appointment or open homes to facilitate and convert the curiosity of potential buyers and engage them in more in-depth conversations to determine if they're likely to pursue or buy your property.
Yeah.
This is that qualification thing again.
And you're in the market now where you can actually provide real-time feedback as well, aren't you?
Well, this is the next part of it, mate. It's provide real-time and accurate feedback to vendors from the engagement and conversations with potential buyers. Why a buyer likes it or why they don't like it.
Yep.
Feedback is critical in allowing vendors to make informed decisions. It's another subject on its own. I could spend days talking about feedback.
Look, and again, this kind of goes back to last week when we were talking about those conditions on contract. This is, if you're not happy with something, maybe ask the person who's selling the property, can they change something perhaps to make the process a lot quicker?
It can. Feedback, I'll give you the hint. Feedback should always come down to what the buyers believe the property will sell for.
Yep.
But I'll say it again, it's another subject and it's fascinating. We'll come up with that very soon.
Perfect.
So also assist buyers to understand the offer or negotiation process to help secure a favourable deal to the vendor. A lot of buyers don't understand the process, so we not only we're working for the vendors, but we're helping to coach buyers to understand the contractual and legal side of things as well.
Yeah. It's so complicated, yet so easy at the same time.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's easy, just go and get your licence, get a flash car and a mobile and away you go. Okay, next we've got encourage and present offers from buyers with the expectations of the vendors firmly at the forefront of the offer process. Ultimately, agents make carefully considered suggestions and vendors make the ultimate decisions. Next, have a strong understanding of the legal or contractual obligations of both parties, that's buyers and sellers, to enable the formulation of fair and equitable contracts of sale that protect the interests of both parties, especially of vendors. Then we've got coordinate the input and roles of other players during the contractual phase, such as the lawyers, the conveyancers, the building inspectors, the brokers, the banks, the valuers. It's a cast of thousands at times. And then keep both parties on track, read their obligations and requirements leading up to and at settlement.
Yeah, and there's plenty more to navigate after that, isn't there?
Well, there is. It's not a definitive list, and this is not taking into account some of the twists and turns and human frailties that pop up when you least expect it. Ultimately, the vendors pay agents for the service rendered once the property has settled. Now, buyers, not many, they might employ the services of a buyer's agent or an advocate to help with their property search and purchase. But the large majority of Aussie buyers source, pursue and buy property under their own steam. And it's unlike America, for example, where the average commissions are double what they are in Australia.
Wow.
And there are defined buyer's agents and seller's agents. It's a fascinating arrangement, to say the least, over there.
Unbelievable. Okay, if anybody wants to enter in a conversation about that with Craig, more than welcome to. Okay, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Before you go, what's on the market this week on the coast?
Mate, we have an absolute beauty, which is hot off the press. It'll hit the market tomorrow.
Ooh, you heard it here first.
Oh, yeah. You'll get an exclusive here, Lee. It's open this Saturday at 11 a.m, and it's number 34 Amy Street, West Ulverston, and it's a large 3-bedroom home with the perfect blend of mid-century charm and modern finishes. Easterly views, great location, and probably won't last long. It's priced from $499.
Lovely. Okay, mate, we'll check in with you next week.
Been a pleasure, Lee. Thanks for having me.